Welcome back. Today we'll be looking at our first perk, Quick Revive. We'll be covering everything we need to know, from the basics to advanced stuff, and clearing up some confusion about this perk. Quick Revive was first implemented in World at War as one of the original 4 perks. Its main use was, and still is, to be able to revive a teammate in a reduced time. However, in Black Ops this perk is now useful to solo players too, as it gains an extra use of being able to revive yourself, if downed, for a maximum of 3 uses. It also temporarily gives you Mustang and Sally while downed. The cost of Quick Revive in an online game is 1,500 points. And the cost of Quick Revive in solo is 500 points with a maximum of 3 uses. This makes it the cheapest perk out of all of them in solo. It should also be noted that Quick Revive can be used in solo without power, making this by far the most useful perk in solo. Now we have the basics covered, let's look at some misconceptions about the perk that have been going around for some time. The first that we will be looking at is a theory that you die faster if you move about while downed. In this clip you can clearly see that they die at the same time, meaning it doesn't matter how much you move, you last just as long. The second that we'll be looking at is that sources misinform players, saying that the perk revives 3 times faster or even 4 times faster. But if you look at the clip, you can clearly see that it's only twice as fast, cutting the revive time in half. Still very useful though. Team composition is very important if you want to get high rounds, so if playing with friends, assigning certain perks to certain players can be very helpful. For instance, let's look at a simple 4-man team. You can assign perks to make the most of the game. Even on the older maps, team composition can be very important, as you now have 5 perks to choose out of. But we'll be mainly focusing on the new maps in Black Ops that have a large range of perks. So let's say you have a 4-man team of friends, you know what you're doing. Let's plan out to make the most of the perks. So if you have a max amount of 4 perks, we should assign Quick Revive to at least 2 of the members. Quick Revive is not an essential perk needed to survive in zombies, but it is essential to have at least 1 play with Quick Revive just in case somebody goes down. Having a 4-man team is always better than being 1-man down. But this does not mean all 4 players need to take Quick Revive, as you can assign just 1 or 2 people to doing the reviving, freeing up perk slots for the 2 other players in your game. So here will be a good example. We have 2 players assigned with Quick Revive. The reason we assign 2 people with Quick Revive is just in case the person with Quick Revive gets down, we can still get him back up and not lose anybody. However, the other players now have a choice of perks depending on their playstyle or weapon loadout. A good example would be PhD for players that want to use more explosive weapons but don't want to have to worry about getting downed. Assigning perks can be incredibly important in zombies to make the most of the 4 perk slots that you have. You don't need 4 people with Quick Revive for a job that only 1 person needs to do. A good thing to team up with Quick Revive is the Crouch Refibrillator. When this is Pack-a-Punch, you can instantly revive people by shooting them with one of the ballistic knives. This could potentially free up a slot for a perk, or if you had Quick Revive before, you can assign yourself as a team medic and revive people when they get downed. Having 1 person assigned to do the reviving frees up the other players to kill the zombies with minimum risk of getting downed. With this technique, people can continue on with their job and not have to worry about reviving somebody and potentially getting overrun by zombies.